September 17th, 2025. I'm Mike Matei. I'm here with the Democratic Socialists of America, the Northeast Pennsylvania chapter. And we're out here on Wilkes-Barre Square in response to a call to action that the Pennsylvania Immigrants Coalition put out a few weeks ago to call on the state of Pennsylvania to end its collaboration with ICE, stop sharing people's personal data with ICE, stop the state police from working with ICE, stop leasing state facilities to ICE, and a whole list of other demands, pass the Driver's License for All Act.
There's a paper on the table with all of the demands. Remove ICE access to state databases. End data sharing, communication, and collaboration between state prisons and ICE. Prohibit state police from contacting ICE and from providing traffic assistance to ICE. Never lease a state facility to ICE like the one they're doing in 40 Fort over at the Flood Authority. Be prepared to challenge any federal governmental action to use state public benefit records for immigration enforcement purposes. Prohibit ICE arrests in state facilities without a judicial warrant signed by a judge. Allow your departments to demonstrate support to HB 1518, the Driver's License for All bill. Develop clear public messaging to inform immigrant communities about current policies on public programs. And last but not least, issue statements and publicly welcome immigrants to Pennsylvania. Because we are all from immigrants, unless you are Native American. For the first speaker, we have Frankie from NEPA Stands Up.
Thanks for coming out and making this happen on such short notice. It's really important that we keep fighting for everyone in our community, especially those most marginalized. Because if we don't stand up for them, our communities will slowly get eroded until there's almost nothing left. So we must maintain standing in solidarity with folks from all backgrounds. NEPA Stands Up is happy to be involved with the NEPA Immigrants' Rights Coalition. Recently, we've been tabling at events like the Latino Festival and wish to continue the community outreach that we've been doing. We've established some connections in Southside community of Scranton, as well as wanting to build on that. We want to be able to use those connections in order to facilitate Know Your Rights information and to help bring interested folks, especially Spanish-speaking folks, into some of the work that we're doing. So we're super happy to be involved with the NEPA ICE Watch. Some of you may know about. Mike, I'm sure we'll go into a little bit more detail later. But from my first time joining NEPA Stands Up, it was in response to Christian Hall. And I don't know if everyone remembers him anymore, but he was a teenager that called the police in Monroe County while having a mental health crisis. He was an immigrant, actually. His parents had adopted him. So he felt disassociated with the rest of his community. He felt separated from, and when he called and reached out for help, he was shot by Pennsylvania State Police. That was my first, connection into NEPA Stands Up. And although we're tackling it from more of a public safety aspect, as Laura said earlier, we're all coming from immigrants. The DA, who's decided to work with ICE in a 287G agreement, I know his cousin. Yeah, boo Sangdulci. But I know his cousin, and his cousin shares the same immigrant grandmother and sent me the records of when his family came to Ellis Island. So Sam, just like the rest of us, his family came from somewhere else. So for him to partaking in the fascistic takeover, the Gestapo police in America today is absolutely atrocious and abhorrent. Again, thank you for everyone coming out, for making this happen on such short notice. Stay involved and get your friends and family involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Frankie. That was awesome. Yeah, I have immigrants on both sides. My grandmother came through Ellis Island. She was actually quarantined because she was sick. So yeah, we all come from immigrants. We all have to care about this. If we don't stand up for them, no one will. The next up, we have Mike from NEPA Democratic Socialists.
Hi, friends. Thanks for being here. As Laura said, this is part of a larger statewide action to call upon the governor and our state legislators to end all state collaboration with immigration and customs enforcement. So I'm not going to repeat the list of demands because Laura read through the whole thing. But again, there's a stack of them over here on the table. Take those home with you. Call the governor's office. Call your legislator. Demand that they stop working with this instrument of white supremacy, with this state-sanctioned terrorist organization that is kidnapping our neighbors for being the scapegoats for a failing economic system. I'm going to do a couple things. First thing I want to do is got it. The first thing I want to do is point to a specific action that's on that sheet, because it revolves around a specific policy that is currently being considered in the State House. It's Pennsylvania House Bill 1518. It's called the Driver's License for All Act, and it does a couple of important things. First thing it does is it allows people who don't have a social security number to apply for a driver's license using alternative identification. Their tax ID, birth records, marriage records, any form of alternative state-issued identification they can use to get a driver's license, or to apply for a driver's license or a learner's permit. So this allows folks who live here and work here to have the mobility they need to go about their daily lives, which they're currently denied. The second thing it does, which is equally important, is that it prevents DOT from sharing those people's information with ICE. It prevents DOT from asking for people's citizenship or immigration status during application, unless under existing law they're required to do so to evaluate the application. Wishy-washy. And it prevents any company that is contracting with DOT who has access to that information from sharing it with anybody else. So, if you do nothing else on that sheet, go home tonight or tomorrow morning, call the governor's office, call your state legislators. Right now it's sitting in the transportation committee waiting to be considered. Tell them to push that through, tell them to get it passed, tell the governor to work with the House and the Senate to get that passed. When you're done doing that, grab one of these flyers, sign up for our ICE Watch training. We have investigator trainings 2 to 3 times a month. We will teach you how to, we will plug you into our efforts, our hotline, where we will get alerted to ICE encounters as they're happening. We will get people on site to document them, read people their rights, de-escalate if possible, and keep those records for when they are needed in immigration court or when they are needed in other courts if ICE oversteps their power. Plug into one of these organizations if you haven't already. Join up, sign up for an emailing list. I know Democratic Socialist is apparently a scary thing to be these days. Who knew? Plug into what these two organizations are doing if you're not already. stay in the fight. Action after action after action. Be out there every time you can, because our biggest weapon is sustained organized action. And we are the only ones who can really protect us and really protect our neighbors. And that means all of us.
A lot of really good information. Yes, please, if you can, get hooked up with ICE Watch. It is crucial we bear witness when they are kidnapping people illegally. Next up, we have Michelle from Action Together.
Hi, I'm Michelle Rothenbecker. I'm the Chief of Staff at Action Together NEPA. Immigrants are a part of the fabric of our communities throughout northeastern Pennsylvania, and Action Together NEPA is here to say that we will continue to oppose any collaboration with ICE at the state or local level. Our country is no longer on the brink of an attempted far-right authoritarian takeover. We are in one. By sending ICE and the military into our communities to kidnap our neighbors, detain children, repress free speech, the Trump regime is disregarding the most deeply held and important democratic freedoms of our country. This cruelty and violence goes against not only our laws and morals, but also our vision for a future where all people can live safely and peacefully. Here in Pennsylvania, we need to fight back. Governor Shapiro needs to fight back. That's why we're here. We are here to demand that all Pennsylvania cooperation with ICE stops immediately. We need to remove ICE access to PA databases and end data sharing that threatens those working and trying to live their lives. We should not be leasing state facilities to ICE anywhere in this Commonwealth. We need to welcome immigrants into Pennsylvania and not deter the many folks who've chosen to work toward a better life for themselves and their family across the Commonwealth. We need to support policies that hold law enforcement, including ICE, accountable. We need to support proactive policies that rein in the terrorizing of our neighbors and local businesses, and ensure that unidentified masked individuals are not kidnapping people off of our streets. Right here in Luzerne County, we've already seen what ICE collaboration can look like. It's the district attorney signing an agreement to collaborate with ICE, an agreement that took place outside our county council's legislative body. Apparently, the rules only apply to some people. The Luzerne County Flood Authority is leasing space to the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement to occupy space in their 44 office complex. Despite claims that ICE will not be using the space for overnight detention and that the building will not have holding cells, the authority will not release the plans for the building upgrades to prove this isn't true, even though some organizations working to hold them accountable already found those plans online. In Montour County, the Sheriff's Department is cooperating with ICE. In Lewisburg, a prison facility is being used to house ICE detainees. A restaurant in Honesdale was raided and 3 employees were taken. In Montoursville, a recent raid led to ICE detaining a dozen construction workers. And in South Williamsport, the local fire company assisted in ICE removing an undocumented person from a home's attic. As someone who has experienced a house fire, I cannot imagine something worse or more horrifying than the people who are meant to protect us and save our lives kidnapping or assisting in a kidnapping. We can't turn a blind eye to these incidents. These are just a few examples of local actions that are causing fear, confusion, and chaos in our communities. And anytime you read the news, you'll see more. While some choose cruelty and chaos, we're choosing community. While some choose hate, we're choosing love. While the Trump administration chooses to separate families, remove teachers from their classrooms, and remove workers from their communities, we're choosing to protect all those people who make up the places we call home. Please add your name to oppose increased ICE presence in NEPA and commit to taking action to stand in solidarity with immigrant communities. Action Together members have been fighting back across the region, and we will continue to do so, whether it's holding community meetings, showing up at proposed detention centers, or supporting our immigrant neighbors through mutual aid. Our members are standing up for what's right. I'm sure everybody here is wondering, what more can you do? Please take some flyers. There's QR codes on flyers with the Action Together organizers over here. Raise your hands, please. They have some flyers that they're handing out, and they have plenty of actions that you can take right now to make a difference in your community. Thank you very much.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless tempest tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. I had immigrants on both sides of our family, came from Lithuania, Poland, a grandfather, great-grandparents, and what is happening, right?
What is happening?
We got to stop it. Thank you. Thank you. Solidarity.
Had a bunch of good speakers, shared a lot of good information, and banded together and stood up for our neighbors.